Good afternoon, dear students. Continuation with the lectures of the arm. Today we'll talk of a very small topic, a single muscle in the posterior compartment of the arm, that is the triceps. Yesterday we have talked of the three muscles in the anterior compartment of the arm and we have talked of the musculocutaneous nerve, and day before yesterday we have talked of the muscles of the anterior compartment of the arm. Today we'll talk about the muscle of the posterior compartment of the arm, or rather the only muscle which is going to be present in the posterior compartment of the arm, that is triceps. Now, which were the muscles in the anterior compartment of the arm? There are three muscles in the anterior compartment of the arm: biceps, brachialis and coracobrachialis. There is only one muscle, as I have told you, in the posterior compartment of the arm, and this muscle here is triceps. Okay. Now, triceps is a muscle, so like all other muscles, you have to study this muscle under four headings: origin, insertion, nerve supply and actions. Okay, so you will have four headings under which you are going to study the triceps: origin, insertion, nerve supply and action. Okay, so we'll start with the first point. So what is the origin of the triceps? Now triceps, as we have seen the biceps, bi meaning two, tri meaning three. So triceps is a muscle which has three heads of origin, and the three heads of origin of the triceps are called as the long head of the triceps, the lateral head of the triceps and medial head of the triceps. So there are three heads of origin: the long head of the triceps, the lateral head of the triceps and medial head of the triceps. Now where do these heads come from? Now we'll draw the scapula here. Okay, this is the glenoid cavity of the scapula. Okay, this is the superior border. So likewise, somewhat this is the scapula. Here you have the humerus. Okay. Now, when we had talked of the long head of the biceps, we had seen that there is a tubercle at the upper part of the glenoid cavity, which was called a supraglenoid tubercle. Similarly, there is a tubercle here at the lower part of the glenoid cavity, which is called infraglenoid tubercle. And you have to imagine that this is the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus, and on the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus, there is a groove, which is called as radial groove. Okay. Now, how the origin of the triceps is? The long head of the triceps arises from the infraglenoid tubercle. Long head of the triceps arises from infraglenoid tubercle. The lateral head of the triceps arises by a linear origin from an area on the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus above the radial groove. Okay, so that is the origin of lateral head of the triceps. And medial head of the triceps arises from a triangular area from the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus below the radial groove. So I hope it's clear. The diagrams are not up to the mark, but still I hope you have understood this. This is the scapula, this is the glenoid cavity, this is supraglenoid tubercle, this is infraglenoid tubercle, this is the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus, and this is the radial groove. Okay, so I repeat again: the three heads of the triceps. Long head of the triceps arises from the infraglenoid tubercle, which is present here. The lateral head of the triceps arises by a linear origin from the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus above the radial groove. It's a linear line origin. And medial head of the triceps, which is a long origin, which arises from the triangular area which is present on the posterior surface of the shaft of the humerus below the radial groove. So these are the three heads of origin of the triceps. Now, these three heads of the muscle will unite together to form this muscle belly. The lateral head and the medial head will unite, and they will also unite with the long head of the tricep. They will form the muscle belly, and this muscle belly, where it is inserted, all of us know that here this triangular projection is called as the olecranon process of the ulna, and we have seen the ulna. So the olecranon process is like this, brother. So the superior surface of the olecranon process in its posterior part, so it is inserted into the posterior part of superior surface of the olecranon process of the ulna. So where is the insertion of the triceps? All the heads meet together, and the tendon of the triceps will come and insert into the posterior part of superior surface of the olecranon process, and the rest of the superior surface is covered by a bursa. So that is how you have to remember the origin and insertion. I hope it is clear. Now this insertion, before I forget, because this is a very important landmark, further you have to remember this line. This is used as a point to elicit when you are going to hit upon when you are going to elicit triceps jerk. Similarly, when you are going to hit upon the biceps tendon, you will elicit biceps jerk. So that is a very important physiological aspect of knowing both the insertions of the biceps as well as the triceps. Okay. So that is the origin and insertion of the triceps. The nerve supply of the triceps. Now we have talked of this. There is the whole of the posterior compartment of the upper limb is supplied by only one nerve, and that nerve is radial nerve. So the triceps is supplied by radial nerve, and all of us know that the radial nerve is going to pass along with the profunda brachii artery through this radial groove, which is going to be lying between the lateral and the medial heads of the triceps. Is this clear? So that is about the nerve supply. And now the actions of the triceps. The long head of the triceps weakly acts upon the shoulder, and maybe it is an extensor of the shoulder head, but the lateral and the medial head of the triceps, rather the triceps muscle as a whole, is a extensor of the elbow joint. Okay, so this is flexion of the elbow joint and that is extension of the elbow joint. So that is about the origin, insertion, nerve supply and actions of the triceps. A very short muscle, a very important muscle, very important clinically here to elicit triceps. Don't forget that important applied anatomy of the triceps, and the nerve supply, that is the radial nerve. One important thing which you should understand here, this position of the radial nerve which is present with the lateral and the medial of the triceps can be involved in and can result in a palsy which is called a Saturday night palsy, that we'll discuss in details when we'll talk about the radial nerve proper. So this is a very short video which gives you one important muscle of the posterior compartment of the arm, that is the triceps. I hope you have understood this video. Please view the video, watch the video, like the video, share the video, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.